I'd like to announce that I've added one of my favorite setups to the Alpha Screener, and I've been waiting for this for quite some time. I've added the ability to scan for squeeze fakeouts. So let me show you what that looks like. If we go ahead and pick cryptocurrencies, we want to scan the cryptocurrency market. We pick the 6-hour time frame, and now when we scan down past all of our setups and we look at the HTF squeeze breakouts, we now have the ability to scan for brand new squeeze fakeouts. Okay, now what that is, if you don't know, it's when we get a squeeze shading, we get a breakout arrow to one direction, very soonly followed by a reversal signal. And this ends up being a mean reversion play that is very, very powerful. In fact, it's what started both the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and the Bitcoin move that we currently see. So let's look at this. We've got the ability to scan for bullish squeeze fakeouts, for bearish squeeze fakeouts, and then if you like me, you just like playing fakeouts, you can scan for both of them. Let's go ahead and look for some bullish squeeze fakeouts. I'm not going to give you guys too many results. I don't want to spoil it for those that have the Alpha Screener, but let's look for something popular. Okay, perfect. Right here is Link. Let's look at the Link chart. Beautiful. You can see that this volatility is already being released in dramatic fashion, and that is why I love these squeeze fakeouts. Again, what it is, guys, is it's a squeeze fakeout in one direction immediately followed by that reversal candle. And what this did here is it caught it back to front, which is still very, very valid. Again, you have all of this volatility. It wants to release in one direction to the downside, and then again, right afterwards, we get a reversal signal, and then it ends up being released to the other side in a really dramatic fashion. Okay, so you can see how much more powerful that this looks versus just our regular confirm reversals here. Okay, that did have a big move, but this is a really explosive move. Again, explaining why this is one of my favorite setups, and you can now scan for it in the Alpha Screener. Okay, but I'll give you something more since you're watching this video. Let's go ahead and look for some cryptocurrencies. Now let's look at the daily time frame. And I'll tell you what, let's just look for assets that are now printing just one green dot. We should look for that on the weekly because I bet you there's quite a few here. But yeah, in fact, let's do that because there's going to be quite a few results here. Let's look for something that is just really showing market strength on a higher time frame. There shouldn't be too many of those right now, so they should be market leaders. And here they are. Okay, so let's look at a few of these. We can look at Near. I like Near. Near is a great project. And you can see here we are printing one green dot just like we scanned for. But for me on this one, again, you can see I already have my levels from before when I've looked at Near. I wanted to break above this green line here, this resistance, but it looks like we're going to try and do that. So that would be my signal to watch Near. We also have a squeeze shading, so if we do get a breakout arrow, this would be a very, very good setup. But again, finding one green dot on Near. Let's go to another asset. What can we look at? Let's look at XLM. That's an old school one. Stellar Lumen. And again, just printing one green dot coming off of what looks to be a double bottom pattern, breaking above the midpoint, which would be a setup for a pattern recognition play, a little double bottom breaking above this midpoint. Green dot. So again, that would be a very, very good setup right there. And we found that by searching for just one green dot on the Alpha Screener. But anyways, guys, this is really for those that already have the screener. You can now look for those squeeze fakeouts. Again, they're right there under the HTF breakouts. I hope you have fun, enjoy, and thank you for being an Alpha Bundle member.